Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Poppin' was cracking it. Steve about to react to this TroyceTV vid. It's titled YouTube Troll Gets Ran Up On in New York for Being Conservative. I definitely saw this on TikTok. I just saw, I guess, the end of the interview. And the girl didn't like what the interviewer was saying. And she just started throwing hands. And I was like, oh my God, that's crazy. Let's see what led up to it and how this woman is a troll. I didn't know that she was going around trolling people. Let's watch.
Some viewers might find this disturbing. Your discretion is advised.
Hi, my loves. It's Destin Troyce, and you're watching TroyceTV.
Sounds
And
kinda
for today's
low.
video, we had to get on here and talk about the whole
Ooh,
Savannah Craven
that's
situation
the
and the
aftermath?
situation involving a woman who basically popped her ass. So if y'all didn't hear, there's a video floating all over the internet right now of a reporter, journalist, newscaster, and online social media blogger by the name of Savannah Craven. She's 23 years old, and she's a young woman who basically goes around profiting off of rage bait.
Abortion is becoming even more widespread, right? Because it's left up to these states. And so many people think that our work is over or that we can take a pause or that we're done. But we all know that's not the case. Dobbs missed one extra point, that a person is a person, no matter how small. And so interstate abortion is rising. And
So that's the whole goal, is to get a rise out of people?
This abortion access has expanded. It's going to
got a
continue to
rise.
expand. And so that's why it's our job to continue working every single day.
Tell me about it. Trump! Kids are ripped apart in an abortion. Should we protect them from that?
I disagree with your premise.
They're not. What are they?
Nothing.
Nothing. Do you have children?
No.
Makes a lot of sense, doesn't
She
it?
has a very strong social media presence, and basically the bulk of her content is talking about
girl,
politics.
You
Savannah
got
Craven,
I'm sorry. You can't go around like looking to start issues with people and then look stupid and play victim when somebody actually, throw hands. I'm not saying it's right. That's never the answer. But there are a lot of mentally unstable people out there and you don't know who's who. So why would you just go up playing with people like that? I just don't think that's smart.
basically gets a lot of popularity.
I'm
from
not
support
condoning
of
what happened to
Trump
her,
and
but
support
just
of,
saying.
reproductive
Why are
rights
you
and how,
doing this?
women shouldn't do this and so much more. Just the whole right-leaning politics.
Most people in the womb are people.
What are they?
They're a fetus, or they're a sperm and an egg going together, and they're not a people yet.
What's a fetus?
A fetus is a growing human.
Yeah, so they're a human.
Okay. I disagree with what you believe in, and I think...
Well, you just agreed with me. You just said that they were human. I also agree with that.
See, he's getting annoyed. And especially if your objective is to kind of like make people look stupid and try to embarrass them, like, not everybody gonna take that kindly. See?
You march for women?
Yeah, she's still antagonizing
You march for women?
him. No, this ain't it.
My body, my choice. I get to be here in this space.
Okay,
You just threatened me. Don't touch me.
I moved away, you followed me. Stop following me.
You literally charged towards my husband.
And overall, I have no problem with her beliefs. She's entitled to feel how she
Wait, the
feels, and she's
cameraman is
entitled
her
to believe what she believes, and I personally don't care.
So her
I'm not
husband
gonna
saw her
dislike
get bopped?
I'm not gonna block her. I just feel like she's entitled to her own personal opinion, just like everybody watching this. But just like most journalists and reporters, she fucked around and found out. Sometimes when you do things on the internet, it's one thing, but when you do them in public, people will test you.
Have a channel?
Yeah, we're doing some interviews today.
I love your schedule too.
Oh!
Vibe. Of course. Awesome. So we're asking people's opinion today.
See, that's what I'm saying. You don't know who the crazy ones are. She walked up smiling and with good energy.
On Planned Parenthood. Are you familiar with them?
Yes.
Okay. And do you know what they provide?
Yes. Abortions.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Safe abortions. The state feels like this is what's beneficial. Oh, we need to be producing more children. There's such a loss in reproduction. We don't have money. There's no finances for reproduction. Like, this is why you go and you get an abortion, because I don't have.
Just like how you said we shouldn't be forced to raise other people's kids, we shouldn't be forced to pay for other people's abortions, because half the country, they don't believe in abortions, whether that's for scientific reasons, for religious reasons, and we should respect that, right? If you want to go get a procedure, then you should be able to pay for it. Do you agree?
Not necessarily.
Or somebody else should pay for it.
Now you put me up in the air, because saying that we're paying for a procedure is like, you want to get a BBL and my taxpayer dollars are paying for your silicone. That's different.
How is it
As opposed
different?
to be me being a 14-year-old girl in the Bronx who's gone through any kind of molestation, rape, anything. You really don't know what people go through, and I need to abort this baby, and I don't have the right to, or I don't have the funds to, or I don't have the means to at all. Nowhere to go. There's no Planned Parenthood. There's no Medicaid. There's no anything that's beneficial to a younger youth, especially someone who's afraid to go to their parents. You can't go through your insurance. It's a lot. So to me, there's a difference in that, because taxpayer dollars pay for police who are still corrupt. pay for doctors who should be paid more because they literally save lives every day. She'll go to nurses who put their lives on the line in emergency rooms, on the streets, who are literally legally obligated to do so. Literally, like countless stories.
What happens in an abortion?
They literally suck the life out of you. They're gonna take the whole baby out. And as they should,
Signs.
because I
That's
shouldn't be a
crazy.
taxpayer paying child support and food stamps and WIC for
You should be a
women who never
taxpayer
wanted to
paying
pay
for abortions?
Exactly. But as for a woman who didn't want the baby in the first place, that doesn't make sense to me. Don't ever sit here and lock yourself down with a man who already told you he doesn't want to be with you. He doesn't
I
want
agree
to
with
be-
you.
I'm not disagreeing with you either. I understand.
You don't get to kill the baby just because their dad didn't want
You
them.
can.
Should we kill the kids in foster care? And
Why not?
that are-
Why not? If that's the case.
We should kill the kids in foster care that aren't wanted?
Who's going to take care of them? I need to know the percentage of people who take children from foster care and abuse them and molest them.
She said,
Who
"Why
make
not?"
them like personal
That was
slaves.
another sign that she's not all the way right upstairs. Should have walked away, girl.
I
We should
need
just kill them.
statistics before you come to me talking about pro-life. I
We
think
should
that
kill the
as a
victims of
child,
molestation.
I think, what does this have to do with molestation?
You just mentioned people molesting children. We should kill the kids in foster care is what you said.
What I'm saying is in general, overall. If I don't want to have a baby, I should have the choice to.
Just don't have sex then. Just don't have sex.
That's not even logical.
It is.
Who are you, Nancy?
I sound dumb.
You
sound
do.
dumb as- Okay.
It does, because even as
Give
teens,
many
people
signs
explore. And it's
that
like,
this
as
is
funny as
not
you want to
going
be,
well.
people should still have the choice. Like, you can't be that naive.
There
I
are
think
over
that's
40 men
women.
that actually
Come
wrote
on,
the Bible.
oh my God, you one of those.
That's just the history. That's just the history of Jesus Christ and the Bible.
It's not. We started from Pangea.
So what does the Bible say about human life?
Big Bang Theory. Our entire life is science and math, and I think you're here if you don't think it is.
So you went from saying that my outfit was really cute to saying I'm an idiot. That's so
But
neat.
I think that
You
your point
did.
of view is very obstructed, and I think that you just don't understand the magnitude of having a child.
Yeah, well, I'm not the one who admitted they would be okay with killing babies in foster care and killing children that have been
That's
abused.
not the point. What I'm
That's
saying.
real.
Y'all gotta go watch it on TikTok. He couldn't show it because, of YouTube. But watch it on TikTok. I'm sure there are some YouTube videos as well. Some people a little bit more bold on here. But yeah, she clocked her a few times.
Oh my God.
So your husband is the cameraman? Not her.
She attacked my wife. Your wife is attacking.
She just punched me in the face. We were just doing a street interview with my camera, and everything was fine for over 20 minutes or however long we were filming. And
Bob,
then
she
she just punched me in the
good.
face.
Lady.
Oh my God.
Oh, I'm driving me. Wipe your face. No, she's big. Now in fashion. But you argue with random people off the street. How is
I
that?
don't know her. She was a stranger on the street.
Makes
I asked
sense.
her if she wanted to do an interview for my YouTube channel. And she said, yeah, she was very nice when she walked up. She complimented my dress. And then
But it got increasingly more
I'm not gonna play the whole
aggressive.
footage because there was an aftermath that happened afterwards, and basically Savannah then got into a cop car. People called the police, and the cop was basically helping to search for her. And basically Savannah was in the backseat of the car saying, "Oh my God, this is how she looked. I can't believe this happened." And obviously things went left, as you can see. And to be honest with you, I don't feel bad for Savannah at all. She got exactly what she deserved. Putting your hands on somebody is a little bit inappropriate and a little bit extreme. But the reason
I'm not gonna say she deserved it, but I do think she's playing with fire, and you got to be careful when you play with fire. And when you play with fire and you get burnt, you can't necessarily play victim and be like, "Oh my God, how did this happen?" Because you're playing with fire. That's how it happened.
why I kind of have
I'm not gonna say she deserved it.
to look at Savannah a certain way is because if you condition it, you better be willing to take it. And that's just my advice even as me. Like, I'm in the realm of reporting, news, journalism, broadcasting, whatever you want to put it. And I made a lot of content talking about all sorts of things. I talk about food, gossip, news, politics, world news. I talk about my own personal shit. I talk about viral stories and so much more. And to be honest with you, I could even look at it from an unbiased perspective because somebody could one of these days try to approach me and act funny to me. That hasn't necessarily happened in a way where it was as extreme as this. But I've had moments where people have said some slick shit to me or people have tried to test me. Not because of the fact they want to just pick on me, but because of my social media presence. So when you do stuff like this,
Not
you have to
everybody.
understand, I can't get mad if I push you, right? Like, if I push you and you punch me, right? Like, imagine if I push you and you just punch me in the face. People will look at you and be like, "Wait, why'd you just punch him?" When in reality, it's because I pushed you. I shouldn't have pushed you. Maybe that wouldn't have even escalated the way it did if I hadn't pushed you. So people like this kind of get what
But
they
that's physical with the physical. She didn't put her hands on her. So once again, I don't condone this, and I don't think it was right at all. So I'm not gonna say she deserved it. I'm not gonna compare that. But yeah, you can't just be talking to crazy people, especially in New York of all places. Girl, bye.
Rage Bait has been getting a lot of popularity within the past 10 years.
They found a girl.
Essentially, people like to do public interviews, ruffle
You know,
feathers.
she don't give a fuck. She
perspectives
showed
on
her
things.
whole face.
And a lot of times when people do
She
these
going
public
to jail.
interviews, they're not even public interviews anymore. They're just biased. You know, back in the day when I was watching Sam Pepper and I was watching Vitaly and a lot of other people who did public interviews, they usually were very neutral and fun and lighthearted. Now these public interviews are just very much antagonistic and rude, and sometimes they come across as condescending. You know, trying to make the interviewee sound stupid and ridiculous.
It's offensive? Yeah, it's not your culture, so I don't think you should appropriate it. Whose culture is it? Native Americans. Who are the Native Americans? The people who were here before Christopher Columbus was here, so they were on this land before us. Okay. I had the white privilege to not go through what other racial groups go through. I was so cute. This looked so cute on me. You were like, I gotta take a second look.
And she's done this before. You know, this content creator and podcaster, she's done this plenty of times where she's tried to make people feel small and stupid for their beliefs.
Know anyone who would want to have an abortion unless 9 months? That's insane. I mean,
Do you support restrictions on abortion?
it's up to the woman.
Yeah. Anytime though?
It's up to the woman. If it's a fetus with a deformity, then are you going to torture?
Yeah, we wouldn't want to have babies that are like deformed in society. That would be really weird.
I didn't say that. I just said it's up to a person. You said that.
Oh, okay.
I said that.
Yeah, but you mentioned deformed.
It's up to the person. Up to the woman and whoever is her healthcare provider. Not to the government.
Absolutely.
Think about that. I didn't say that. All children are beautiful. Just
Yeah. So we shouldn't kill children because they're beautiful?
children. Who's killing children?
Children, who the hell
Who are you? Abortionists kill children.
No, fetuses. No.
What's a fetus?
Fetus is fetus. It's not a person.
Yeah, you're accepting to a brown woman.
You interviewed this woman, you
Yeah,
then tried to twist her words when we all understand what she really meant, and she popped you.
Trying to
She's from the
piss
Bronx.
people
I
off.
hate to say it, but welcome to New York City. Even I know better. First of all, bacon, egg, and cheese sandwiches are about $6 in New York City when they used to be like $1.50. And box apartments with roaches and rats in the subway are about $3,000 a month. On top of that, New York City is having a huge issue with a lot of the migrants, where a lot of the New York City taxes and resources are going towards a lot of illegal migrants that are coming into the country, and a lot of these resources can be allocated to people who actually grew up in these cities. So a lot of people who are from New York have to literally move out. I promise you, baby, play stupid games somewhere else, but don't play it in New York City, because people will pop you in New York City if you test them. Everybody in New York City is never in the best mood sometimes because it's expensive to live there, it's chaotic, it's a big city, and you always gotta have your guard up because there's scammers, there's crooks, and there's people that will try you, and you will have to defend yourself at all costs. And plus,
Come
people
to
on
LA,
social
we're
media
nice
are
in
not
here.
giving the girl who got hit any sympathy. They're basically saying she deserved it.
Oh, that's
And that let me have everybody knocking in your shit.
okay. Y'all, I don't agree with this. Y'all ain't shit. To say she deserved it is a bit much. To laugh and be like, hey, you kind of playing games, that's one thing. But to be like, yes, you deserve this, I just don't agree with that.
Her past, her background, or if she had to, get rid of a child once upon a time. You feel me? You don't do that because everybody is not going to agree with you.
She's big, she's tall, it's taking out. But please tell me y'all saw the video of that journalist interviewing that random civilian about pro-life, pro-choice. See, that's what that girl gets. See, she had no business getting cute with that woman. You just don't know what people have been through. When it's their body, their choice, things get a little bit sensitive. So now the news report...
I was thinking about that too. I'm like, what if that girl went through something like that? What if she has to get an abortion because she, was raped or something? We don't know the details, and that's a very triggering topic for some people. So you are picking very touchy, sensitive topics to discuss with strangers on the street. Just nothing about this is smart.
Hand it to her. Billy, I bet you remember it next time.
Oh,
But please, let's not sit up here and act like violence is the answer, because let's be honest, even though this woman now has a GoFundMe, where yes, the woman has now been identified as Brianna Rivers, even though she now has a GoFundMe, a lot of y'all are not going to put money on her books, a lot of y'all are going to pay her bail, a lot of y'all are going to pay her court and attorney fees, so let's not sit up here and justify putting your hands on somebody.
Exactly.
Let's just sit on here and just admit that people really should watch what they say, but people also got to keep their hands to themselves. If I run around smacking everybody that says something crazy to me, I'd probably be in jail for life.
Hello.
So Brianna Rivers has raised over $7,000 after fans of Savannah have identified her. People were blowing up her comments, telling her that she should, fall off of a bridge. People were saying all types of awful things to her, body shaming her, telling her she's ugly, telling her they're going to find her. People have even showed up to her home So she posted up a GoFundMe, and in her GoFundMe, she literally said, "I'm Brianna Rivers, and this past Thursday, I was asked to partake in an interview with Savannah Craven. I'm receiving death threats, being cyberbullied, threatened, and
well, too bad you did what you did, because I don't have sympathy for you either, and you have to face the consequences of your actions, girl." She gonna say, "Oh, she rage baited me and antagonized me." Girl, you still don't put your hands on people. We are adults. Act like an adult. So, do I feel bad for her? No, and I wouldn't give her $1.
Not only by her, but her thousands of followers.
Brianna.
These people have made my personal life and my personal information public. I've had strangers come to my door, and I am fearful for my safety and the safety of my family. I'm seeking financial assistance to hire professional counsel. I thank everyone who supports me throughout this extremely difficult time, and I appreciate you all. She then said, "Thank you, Brianna," and then left her Cash App at the end of the GoFundMe. And personally, even though I'm really sorry this is happening to her, I do have to be honest, I don't want to enable anybody putting their hands on anybody, because it would have been simple as just simply walking away. You could have easily told her, "Go to hell, I don't agree with you," and easily walked off. We got to practice self-control, because to be honest with you, putting your hands on somebody is just not the way to go. Like, I'll be honest with you, as much as people do deserve it, I will say there's something called cause and effect. Put your hands on somebody all you want, but best believe you will go to jail. If you have a lot to lose, do not put your hands on somebody, because I promise you it will never work in your favor, because the one thing that will make something escalate real fast is the police. And the fact that Savannah wants to sit around and actually press charges is crazy. Brianna Rivers then went to Facebook and said to Savannah, "I sincerely apologize, but can I sit around and allow you to continue pushing this one-sided narrative? I understand hands being put on someone is never the answer, but throwing rocks and hiding hands is worse. She knows the truth, and she needs to release the footage in its entirety. Savannah is a professional antagonist, not a reporter, and the truth will be told." And Savannah is milking this to the T. People are literally documenting this, girl, putting her on the news, reporting on this, and this has made mainstream news. Okay. Savannah is happy because she's getting a lot of attention that she actually wants. Show now. This is and she's making it clear that she is pressing charges.
This is going to happen to me. I live here in the city, and I'm very used to dealing with out-of-control protesters and abortion supporters, but there was no lead-up to this altercation. It was like we were having a conversation, and all of a sudden, she just lets loose on my face.
Oh, no.
And to what do you attribute that, Savannah? I mean, you're having a conversation. It does sound like you're debating each other a little bit. And you didn't see this coming. Like, it's hard to explain.
You laughed in her face, tried to make her sound stupid.
She had nothing left but physical violence?
It seems so. The left and many abortion supporters, they don't like a differing opinion. They don't like their opinion to be challenged. And I believe what happened here was, like you said, we got to the end of the argument. I was repeating back.
I get it. Sometimes people will say things to you that you don't like, but that doesn't give you the excuse and the green light to just pop people. Now, in New York City, it's a different story. People will pop you and run off, and then nobody will say anything. But in her case, she did this on camera. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just pop people on camera and just assume that you're not going to get in trouble for it. You know what I mean? Like, I think this is the slowest generation of our times, because people do things on camera and think they're never going to get caught. I mean, look at the meatball girl who's famous on social media. You know, she thought it was appropriate to loot and do crazy stuff during the whole riots in 2020, and then she documented it and filmed the whole thing, and then she ended up going to jail.
Spree back in September.
The woman known as Meatball entering guilty pleas to the charges of riot with the intent to commit a felony and criminal use of a communication facility. Blackwell was sentenced today to 5 years of probation for each charge, 150 hours of community service, and a $10,000 fine. Police say it was these live stream videos during the looting that helped investigators track down her and other suspects.
Dummy. And right after Blackwell appeared in court, she spoke with Fox 29's Jennifer Lee about a comment the judge made today. It was about her necklace spelling out the word baddies, a reference to the reality TV show she's appearing in. Blackwell shared.
That's what I'm like, wait, why is this face and this name like clicking for me? Where have I seen her on fucking baddies? Definitely reacted to an episode that she was on my Patreon. Go check it out. Link down below. We reacted to Baddies Africa coming soon. That's where I've seen her. I'm like, where can I place her? That's where the ghetto.
The post showing the necklace on her public Instagram page right after her court appearance saying this.
Natalie, my judge said right here. So what's that chain on your neck? Okay, I say Betty, so we need to switch that and make it say goodies, okay?
My issue with the journalist is that people will step to you and pop you and come for you at any moment, and you really never know when it will happen. For example, Jason Lee, one of the biggest bloggers, newscasters, reporters of all times, he's had his habits of being very messy. Even though he's a businessman, he's been very messy throughout the years and has done some very not so nice things that can be deemed as problematic. And he has been approached numerous times by other entertainers and some of their supporters. Let's not forget that when he was in a train station one time, wanting to get out his fans decided to go out of their way to blast him and dox him in public.
Oh my gosh, gag. You take the lead? Oh my gosh, gag. Gagging. Ooh, you catching the train? You catching the train? Ooh, the girls got the nerve to come for Nikki and they catching the train. Yikes. Yikes. Ooh. Ooh, yikes, Miss Thing. Yikes.
And this has happened to him on multiple occasions. On top of that, let's also talk about, Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams has talked about on numerous occasions how she's been pressed and approached. Let's not forget that, what was her name? Angela, the woman who used to host Hot 97. Angela actually popped Wendy Williams a long time ago over something she said on the radio. That's how, all these things happen to so many people. Charlamagne, when Charlamagne was very rude to one of his guests, he ended up getting pressed outside the studio. None of us really know exactly where that came from, but he got pressed outside the studio. Somebody smacked him, and somebody recorded it, and he ran off, and people just made fun of him and talked about how he's only big on the internet and only big on radio.
And one can say whatever they want. Oh, Charlamagne ran like a bitch, whatever. I retreated. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta let people get the day so you can have tomorrow. Honestly, I deserve everything that comes to me, good and bad.
Then let's talk about even people like Anderson Cooper. Anderson Cooper has been approached and has been talked to crazy when he goes out in public to record natural disasters or go to crime scenes and much more. Anderson Cooper's not even immune to that. You know what I mean? So you gotta understand that people will press you. I even have moments where I've talked about influencers and YouTubers before, and I've talked about big name entertainers, and sometimes they've actually responded to me.
Bro, when I see TroyceTV, nigga, I'm gonna beat the fuck out that fat ass, gay ass, ugly ass nigga. Yeah, I did not ever see that fat ass nigga at no fucking.
Unless he come with that same energy.
Yeah.
If he see me and he say anything.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Y'all gotta record that if that happens.
What did he say about
Yeah, bro, I bet you when he sees you, be like, hey, everything is just entertainment. You know what I'm saying? I'm just talking shit on the internet. Shut your little fat ass up.
They weren't very thrilled with my commentary that I did 7 years ago, almost 8 years ago. It was a really long time ago. But I honestly, at that time, when I made the video, they responded, and they probably wouldn't even remember me, to be honest with you. But if I'm being realistic, I can't take stuff like that personal. Some of y'all are just like, oh, I don't take it personal. I don't take it lightly. Trust and believe that. But I don't take it personal because I do feel as though that if I can dish it, I better be willing to take it. And most times I never usually respond. I just kind of take it on the chin, just dust it off and keep it moving.
Same.
Because again, it is a job. Your job.
Yeah, some people have responded because I wasn't talking directly to you anyway. But some people have put up videos in response, I'll say, to my reaction, and people will send it to me, and I'm just like. I keep it pushing. I'm not about to do the back and forth with you, unless it's like a celebrity. Then I'm gonna say something. when Cardi B reposts me or whatever, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm about to make content off of this. But that's a different situation because Cardi B is somebody I talk about on a regular basis. So it's like, okay, cool. This adds to the the repertoire or whatever. I'm gonna continue to talk about you. But if it's like somebody like another YouTuber or something, like I'm not about to engage in that with you. It's not giving it. I said what I said. That's how I feel anyway, moving along. So yeah, I feel about that.
For your life, report, give your opinions. And sometimes people gravitate towards those who have a set opinion. And I don't regret ever making content about a lot of entertainers and bloggers and influencers. Sometimes I was hostile, sometimes I wasn't, sometimes I was direct, but a lot of times it was all just for giving my opinion and being entertaining. You know what I mean? Like when I go outside the house and I usually go places by myself, I'm always ready for someone to try to approach me and press me. Now, a lot of times I don't walk around being paranoid, but I walk around very well protected and very ready to, snap if anybody does anything fucked up to me. You know what I mean? Because I gotta understand that I don't walk around security. I can afford to hire security all the time and take them everywhere I go. Maybe I could put money off to the side and try, but I don't feel the need to walk around with security and feel like I'm, moving around waiting for someone to come for me. I don't have a lot of enemies. I've never gotten a lawsuit before. I've never had anybody tell me, oh, pull up right now, I'm gonna do this, that, and third too. I've never had that happen to me because I don't really have enemies. I keep it about the content, keep it about the subject, and I keep it moving. You kind of gotta be able to take it and dish it. And that's not even just people who do the stuff I do. That's for anybody. You know what I mean? Like if you say anything that pisses people off, whether it be politics, motherhood, lifestyles, food, or whatever, people are going to approach you, test you, and are going to want to see if you got that much. If your bite is as big as your bark, people will test you. So I don't feel bad. I don't feel any sympathy for this woman because she does this to people. She's a rage baiter. She asks people certain questions to get a rise out of them, and she films it and makes them try to feel small. Give me your thoughts and opinions on.
I definitely agree with that. You gotta be ready for whatever. You feel me? I'm always ready. I stay ready. If I run up, anybody in the street, but everybody I met has been very nice to me, very cool. So I never met anybody who was like aggressive or annoyed with anything that I've said online, in person or anything like that. But yeah, this comes with the territory. He made very good points, bringing up Charlamagne, Wendy Williams, etc. It's like. You're talking all this shit, you gotta be prepared for, what happens. Even though we don't condone violence, obviously, but that's just something that you have to be prepared for because some people are easily triggered and they are not the most emotionally stable, and that can lead to violence. This is what it is. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think about all this, and yeah, I'll see y'all the next time. Bye!